Howdy folks, welcome back to Boondockery. Today's video will be focusing on the Fulton MX991U angle head military flashlight. Now, the venerable angle head flashlight has been around for a very long time. The first incarnation of the angle head flashlight was created by Eveready in 1927. They made their industrial flashlight, which was a pretty big deal at the time to have a battery-powered flashlight. And they also made a version for the Boy Scouts of America. Now, in 1937 through 1944, the United States Army officially issued this style of flashlight. This one is plastic. The original ones were made of all brass. Now, during World War II, there were multiple manufacturers of the angle head flashlight, and they used a variety of different materials throughout the war. And the last variations were made of Bakelite plastic. Now, the one that closely resembles this in its lineage was the MX99 that was being issued during the Vietnam War, and they started issuing it in 1963. For all intents and purposes, it was the same design with the exception of this little guard that is on this to prevent accidental activation of the light. Well, it didn't exist. Now, many years ago when I was in the Army, these things were plentiful, and every vehicle had one, and just about every NCO and officer had one. And at the time, I really didn't appreciate this marvelous masterpiece of illumination. I thought it was sort of clunky, but I used it nonetheless. Now, since then, I have definitely grown an attachment to this wonderful piece of engineering. As old as the design may be, it's still a design that, with a few modifications and accessories, still stands up today and would be an excellent piece to anyone's kit, be it tactical or civilian. Now, as part of my quest to acquire all the things that I had when I was in the Army, the venerable angle head flashlight was definitely on my list. And even though I don't know for certain because I never really paid any attention to it, I don't know if the one that I had was actually a Fulton, but I'm quite certain it probably was. Now, we're going to go over the base features on this on the exterior, and then we'll look at some of the other features that may be hidden from view. First thing, at the bottom, there is a lanyard loop that you can put a piece of 550 cord and dummy cord that to whatever you want to dummy cord it to, which is fantastic. If you are in a situation to where, especially when I was in the military at night, and we were trying to break down an engine to be able to have the mechanics come by and pull our engine pack or anything else like that, we used these. And if we were to drop one of these and it slid underneath the motor, well, we aren't getting it back until after that engine's pulled, if it's going to get pulled. But any maintenance or things like that, the lanyard definitely comes in handy. Now, that locks into place, and let me tell you, this thing locks into place. I had to use my key to open that up, to pop that loose to where I could show it to you. Now, on the exterior here, we have a belt clip, and that belt clip enables you to be able to put that on your web gear. Anything that, you can slide this over and to be able to utilize it hands-free. Like if you had this, as a matter of fact, on my shoulder holster right now, I could slide my chest strap up in through here, and I would be able to go hands-free and work on something and actually have this light illuminating it while I'm working on it. Now, there is a 3-position switch. Well, a 3-function switch, I'll put it like that. This is off, and then the middle position you can see there's no light, is for you to be able to utilize the light activation button right here. And when I do, it enables me to be able to use short bursts of light. If I just really am looking for something, I don't want to have the light on for a long time, I can just do a quick flash. Oh, there it is, and reach and grab it. But it originally was designed to be able to use Morse code to be able to communicate with people in darkness. And then push it up, and it's on full. So until you turn it off, it'll be glowing. Now, the bulb that is in this, aka the lamp, is incandescent, just like the ones that we have used probably since the original ones were made back in 1927. Now, I'm certain the designs have changed a little bit and the quality has changed a little bit, but it's still an incandescent bulb. Now, in today's world, with LEDs on everything, this may seem very, very old-fashioned, but for some things, these old incandescent bulbs are actually much better. Now, we have a bottom cap here, and the full bottom cap opens up the main body to be able to put your batteries in. It takes 2 D-cell battery. But in the bottom cap, you pull this spring out, and you have a spare incandescent bulb. So that is very nice to be able to have a bulb on the flashlight just in case something happens to it. Like if you drop this thing, really drop it from a great distance, it might be enough of a shock to destroy the bulb, the filament that's in there, and just the impact. And the flashlight may be in perfectly working order, but without the bulb, it's pretty much worthless. So when you have the accessibility to a bulb already in the flashlight, that's genius. That's absolutely brilliant. And put the spring back in here. And get back in there. There we go. And we'll put that right back in there. And there is a flat seal that's here between the bottom cap and the flashlight body. And believe it or not, that makes it waterproof. Now this bottom little area here has the texturing. That is another little compartment. And in that compartment are several filter lenses, one of which is a diffuser. As you can see, it's got some interesting textures on this. What this enables it to do is to create a very broad, wide, softer beam at short range. So if you were, let's say you dropped your keys in your yard and you were looking for them, putting something like this on it would be much more beneficial than not, because the regular flashlight just has a standard beam in a small circle. This illuminates a large area and a very short distance. There is a red filter lens. There is a white filter lens. It's completely opaque. There is a blue filter lens, and then a second red filter lens. For tactical situations in the military, red is a color that you would use almost all the time. I will go into further detail about the lenses and their uses in just a moment. Oh, I'll leave that off. Now, here at the top, it's also in a 2-piece configuration. And when you take it off closest to the body, you have the access to the incandescent bulb. It's threaded in there. And again, It has a O-ring on the inside there, and that O-ring again makes it waterproof. Now there's another little ring on the exterior, and this is actually where your filter lenses would go. So you put that right in there. And you have your filtered colored light. Now, inside this other ring that houses the incandescent bulb, there is another lens that used to be glass, and now that is plastic. Let me put that back in there. Here. And the last feature I want to talk about is the shield for the activation switch. Now, earlier models prior to this one, which was the MX99-1, and I don't know exactly what the addition of the U is, but with the introduction of the MX99-1, they created the shield that makes it much more difficult to inadvertently activate your flashlight controls. Now, the filter lenses, we'll talk a little bit about those. There are actually two colors that are also available for this flashlight that does not come with the standard set, and that would be the green filter and the amber filter. It basically looks yellow. Now, we'll start off with the blue. The blue filter is much less visible at a distance from someone looking toward the light. As far as usable functional light in the forest, it's pretty dismal. It does not illuminate well because of the blue filter. It does not create contrast like other colors do, especially white. And even red works really, really well. But the one thing that the blue lenses are very good at, apart from not being very distinguishable at a distance at night, which helps you conceal your position very, very well, while you're using an incandescent bulb, which is very low powered, you can actually spot a blood trail. So if you're a deer hunter, something like this might very easily come in handy, because it does distinguish a contrast with the blood and the surroundings around it, unlike any of the other filters that you can get for these. Now, I did mention incandescent bulb usage with this filter lens. Believe it or not, and I'll show you in just a moment, you can get much more powerful bulbs for these flashlights and krypton and also LED. But as far as using it to track blood trails, the incandescent bulb is definitely far better than any of the others. For whatever reason, the intensity of light that's coming through these with the brighter bulbs, it completely eliminates any contrast to be able to spot blood trails. Now, the red filter lenses are used primarily at night when you want to retain your natural night vision. And what I mean by natural light vision is that naturally your eyes will adjust to darkness very, very easily. However, when you observe or you allow yourself to see an illuminated area, automatically that adjusts your iris, your rods and cones, right back to its default of like daytime, and it can take you up to about 15 minutes to get that natural night vision back. So when you're using the red filter lens, that enables you to illuminate something and to be able to turn the light off and very quickly be able to have your natural night vision return. Now, this can also be used for signaling, as can the blue, as can the green, as can the yellow, because if you are supposed to signal a particular signal to someone coming into your area of operation, it could be a specific mandate that you utilize a red filter lens or a blue filter lens or green or amber. And if you flash the light and you don't have the proper filter lens in, well, whoever's coming up knows that you're not the person that they're supposed to be linking up with. Now, the white lens, the opaque lens, this is in use with night vision. If I were to put this in the flashlight and turn it on in a completely sealed, no light can get in it, completely pitch black room, no matter how long I sit inside that room, I will not be able to see any illumination whatsoever through this opaque white filter lens. However, with night vision on, it illuminates, just like you would see it as easily as if you were to use your incandescent bulb in the forest. And with most night visions, there's no color palette. You don't see things in color. You just see illuminated or non-illuminated. Where something like this, it could work, like with an IR illuminator for ambient modification of light for like old tech night vision. These work very, very well. Now, the amber lenses and the green lenses I do not have yet. I'm going to show you a picture as soon as I'm finished telling you this, and you can see the accessory set that you can get. Now, the accessory kit comes with all these lenses you see here, plus the green and the amber. And if you get the accessory set, you will be able to put all the filters inside this, and it will still close and it will fit just fine. The set also comes with a replacement bulb, replacement O-ring, and flat seals, and anything that you would need to replace any of the things here, plus the addition of the 2 filter lenses. Now, the green filter lens. The human eye can detect the color green better than any other color. And if you are utilizing a green filter lens, you will be able to see things at night much better than you would with any other color of filter, including no filter whatsoever, just the plain clear glass with the white light of any of the bulbs, And the reason being is because when you utilize white light, you have a tremendous amount of reflection that bounces back to the human eye from whatever it's being shined on. And that actually causes your eye to fight back and forth between the light and the dark, the brightness and the shadows, and it fatigues the eye. A green lens will not do that. You can utilize the green lens and to be able to find things far better than you can with any of the other colors at night, because your eye detects green better. Now, all of these lenses will have its pluses and minuses, like if you're doing map reading or you are reading anything that has red on it. Red filter lenses, they help great with night vision, but there's a lot of markings that are on maps that you cannot see because the red filter lens basically makes it disappear. The same thing with the blue filter lens or any of the color filter lenses. Whatever is on whatever you're looking at in that same color, you're not going to be able to see it. Now, the amber lens is pretty special. I don't know if any of you have ever had a pair of amber shooting glasses, but amber shooting glasses, it just seems like everything pops when you look at it. Everything has greater depth, greater clarity, greater contrast. It's just easier to see everything through those amber sunglasses. Well, that's the way the amber lens works. It is far better to use at night than a white light. Now, granted, it's visible at a great distance. As a matter of fact, if you wanted someone to see you in the darkness, it would be better to use the amber lens than it would be to use regular white light. It's just much more visible. And another really interesting fact about the amber filter lens, bugs aren't attracted to it like it is white light. So if you have to use one of these for a while, you're working on a motor, you're changing your tire, you're just doing whatever it is you have to use a flashlight to do at night, it won't take long before bugs start circling the light area, the illumination area. And they can be quite pesky. When you're trying to concentrate on something, you don't want bugs flying around, landing in your nose or any place else, getting in your eyes and things like that. So anyway, I'll show you a picture of the accessory kit complete, and that is all the information I have for you about the filter lenses. Now, the accessory set I told you about is produced by Fulton. Now, I'm certain other people produce them as well. They're readily available on the internet, but you can order them directly from Fulton as well. I'll put links in the description box below. But this particular kit modernizes the flashlight quite a bit. This conversion kit has 2 cylinders that each one accepts a single AA battery, and it comes with an LED bulb. Now, even though these are much smaller than the D-cell batteries, with an LED, the AA batteries are more than sufficient for many, many, many more hours of burn time with an LED than the D-cells would be with an incandescent bulb. Now, to convert this over to a more modern version of the angle head flashlight, simply open up these cylinders and the batteries fit in right like that. The positive goes up to the top, and there's the bulb. We'll go ahead and change the bulb first. But before we do, just for reference, boing. Now, the weight is dramatically reduced, dramatically reduced. But now, even in direct sunlight, look how bright that is. Now, like I was saying, with the incandescent bulb, the blue filter lens works very well. With an LED or a krypton bulb, it does not work at all for blood tracking. Now, this right here, I think that you can get this in the neighborhood around $10 or so. The same thing with the filter packages. And as soon as my filter packages come in, I'm going to play with them, and you will probably most definitely see them in a future video. Now, you can find all kinds of manufacturers selling angle head flashlights. The least expensive one was Rothco. I actually saw that on eBay, brand new, $7.99. Most places I saw selling the Rothco versions, they're right in the neighborhood about $10. I actually bought mine on Amazon for $25, $24.99. I wanted the Fulton, and so paid a little bit more for it. But the prices literally for a angle head flashlights range anywhere between $8 to $25. They do have a tan version of this of Fulton, and you know, I think it was a little bit less expensive. I think it was around $15.99. But tons of sources for both Krypton and LED bulbs, and I didn't actually look for conversions for D-cell for AA batteries, but you might actually find those less expensive if you can the kit. I thought the kit was pretty reasonable. The kit does not come with batteries, but still, I had tons of batteries there at the house, so it wasn't a problem. Now, this seems like a very antiquated thing. However, we constantly see reimaginings of antiquated things being used all the time. And case in point, the Streamlight Sidewinder. It is a rotating flashlight. You can use it like a regular flashlight. You can use it as an angle head, and it also has the clip to where you can use it exactly like you can the Fulton. However, when I purchased this back when it was a new thing, this was like $70. Now they have another version of this without all the bells and whistles. This has all kinds of LED filtered lights. There's a green, there's a red, and there's a blue in addition to the white light. And it also has IR and on all modes. And the less expensive one just basically has a slide over red filter, and still it's right around the neighborhood of $35. This takes AA batteries. It's handy, it's convenient, it's small, fits right in your pocket. It's nice, but for the price, it's spendy. These are getting a little harder to find. You very easily could probably find these that were military issue, probably a new old stock that was never issued or previously issued on eBay for at least half the price, if not even cheaper, for this very model. But there are alternatives out there, but for me, I'm going to stick with the venerable military GI issue angle head flashlight. Like I said, it's old and it's clunky. It's heavy, but I love it. Now, as far as carrying this thing, there's a lot of different ways you can carry it. I can very easily put it right here on my sternum strap, and it works fine. I can turn it on and be able to work on something and be able to have that illuminated. I can have a map up and have that shining on it. It's great to be hands-free, and also hands-free. That heavy flat base really works well to be able to just set it on a level surface and to be able to use it hands-free as well. But we also have the little rectangular metal loops that are on web gear. Those fit right down through there, and let me see, there we go. It can hang on there. And also on the old school Alice pouches for the M16, slides right down into the grenade pocket. And you know, more people would probably use these mag pouches with a flashlight than grenades. But anyway, a lot of different ways you can carry it. I remember just as I was getting out, maybe it'd been right after I got out, someone was making little pouches. And they made it in woodland, they made them in OD, they made them in tan, and they basically attached to your loop up here, and also had a little Velcro thing on the back to where you just slid it in there, and it had a flap that came over with Velcro and held that in place, so that way you don't have reflection coming off of the lens. One of the things that I did is I used to have different types of camo netting and things like that, not like the military ones with the added materials on them, but just a piece of net fabric and sniper veils, things like that. Just cut a small little piece off of there, put it on here, rubber band a couple times around, and that really reduced the amount of reflection coming back from it. And yes, it did degrade the quality of the light, but just something I played with at the time. But as far as a quality item, something that has definitely stood the test of time and something that I am so nostalgically attached to, I think that the venerable USGI issue Anglehead flashlight is worth its weight in gold. Well, folks, there you have it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.